Yeah, so let me introduce once again for the people who joined now. Everyone, my name is Nivas. So I'm working as a senior product analyst at Vembu Technologies. So I'm the one who is going to host the webinar for today. With me, I'm also having Mr. Pranav. So he's my colleague and he's also a senior product analyst at Vembu. So he's going to help me with this webinar. So before getting into this webinar, so I would like to let you know the ground rules for this webinar. Okay, so this webinar is totally being recorded. So all the things that I'm doing in this webinar is going to record it. And yeah, so everyone on their entry will be automatically muted. So you are entirely in a mute throughout this webinar. However, if you have any questions, so if you want to have any clarification on this, any particular part during this webinar, so you have a question and answer box in the Zoho webinar section. So you can just type in your questions there. So we have a team here, so they will respond to you immediately. Okay, if not, so we will send all the response, our response to you by an email. Okay, and yeah, so after 24 to 48 hours, so the copy of this webinar is posted on our website. So you can just go to vembu.com and you can see this recorded copy. So these are the ground rules. So with this, let's get started. So this is the topic for the today webinar. So what's new in Vembu Backup and Replication for VMware version 5.0? Okay, so it has been a year we started working on this project, Vembu BDR Suite version 5.0. So yeah, so we are almost around the corner of this release. So we are going to release this the Vembu BDR version 5.0 in a few weeks from now. So yeah, so we have an idea. So why don't we give an overview to all the users? What are the features? It's like a sneak peek to the features that are coming in the version 5.0. So that's why we have we decided and organized this webinar. Okay, so yeah, so before getting into this, so this is the agenda for this webinar. So this is going to be a 4-section. So I'm just going to explain the new features and enhancements that is coming in this 5.0. And yeah, so we have recently released the beta of this 5.0. So if you want to test this, so you can download the beta and test it in your environment. So I will let you know how you can download this beta and install it on your computer and start this testing. Yeah, so I have a demo setup with me. I hope it works. Yeah, so using that setup, so I'm going to demonstrate how the 5.0 will look like. At the end, if the time permits, so we have a Q&A session. So we'll just discuss the questions that we have received. Yeah, we'll discuss in detail. Yeah, if time permits, we'll discuss, or else you type in all your questions. So we are happy to answer you by an email. Okay, so this is the agenda for this webinar. So yeah, so to all the new person who joined this webinar, I just want to give an introduction about the Vembu Technologies. Okay, so we are the company. So we are a company founded in the year 2002, and we are most primarily focusing on the backup and disaster recovery software. So we are developing the software. Yeah, so we are headquartered in India and we have offices in US and UK. Currently, businesses from 100+ countries are using Vembu BDR to protect their business critical data. Yeah, and approximately 60,000+ businesses around the globe are using Vembu software to protect their data. Yeah, so we also have a very good partner base. So around 4,000+ partners across the different countries are helping Vembu to reach the entire globe. So we have resellers, service providers, and distributors around the globe. So you can also approach them. So if you want to try this product, or if you want to use the Vembu BDR Suite for your production use. Okay, so this is a small introduction. And yeah, so as a backup software vendor, so we are also partnering with various other technology vendors. So like you can see, so we are partnering with VMware, Microsoft, NetApp, HP, Red Hat, and Amazon. So yeah, so we are developing the backup solution for their products. Yeah, so that's obvious. So we have a partnership with them. Yeah, and yeah, these are few of our customers who are using Vembu currently. So I have just picked only these enterprise customers. Yeah, but the Vembu solution is designed to cater the business requirement of any size, whether it's a small business which is having 5 or 10 virtual machine to an enterprise business having hundreds and thousands of PC. Yeah, Vembu solution, Vembu backup software is able to cater the requirement of business of any size. Yeah. And yeah, so before getting into the features that we offer, that's going to come in version 5.0, so I'm just going to introduce the product that we really offer. So we have a 2 product line with Vembu. So first one is the Vembu BDR Suite, and the second one is the Vembu Cloud BDR Suite. So the Vembu BDR Suite is primarily for the users who want to store their backup data in the on-premise data center or the on-premise storage medium. Yeah, optionally they can send a copy of backup data to their own offsite data center or cloud, or if they have their own cloud, so they can use that cloud storage, or if they want to use Vembu Cloud. So Vembu is also offering a cloud service which is based on AWS, so they can use and store a copy of backup data in the Vembu Cloud. So we have multiple solutions in this Vembu BDR Suite. Like you can see, we have a backup and replication for VMware. So it's an agentless virtual machine backup for the VMware hypervisor. Then we have a backup and replication for Hyper-V. Again, it is an agentless backup solution to back up your Hyper-V virtual machines. Then we support backup for Microsoft Windows. So if you have a physical Windows servers or workstation, so if you want to back up the data, or if you want to back up the entire server workstation, so we support backup. It's an image level backup. Yeah, and we have this backup for files and application. So it's a legacy solution. Like if you want to just back up your particular files and folders or application from a server or workstation, then you can use the Vembu backup for files and application. We offer backup for Office, Microsoft 365. Yeah, previously it was Office 365. Now it's Microsoft 365. So you can back up your mailbox, contacts, calendars, files and folders, SharePoint Online, Teams Online, Microsoft Groups, and even the files and folders from OneDrive. So it's a complete backup for Microsoft 365. Then we have a backup for Google Workspace. So if you want to back up your Google mails, contacts, calendars, and Google Drive files and folders, yeah, we have a backup solution for that. Then we also support backup for AWS. So if you have a AWS instances, EC2 instances, especially EC2 instances running in any region across the globe, you can take a backup of it using Vembu. Yeah, so this is and all these things you can do it from a single console. So that's a very that's why we are ahead of other vendors. So from a single console, so you can configure the backup for everything. So no multiple consoles here now. Okay, and yeah, add-ons, as I said earlier, right? So Vembu also offer DR. So you can optionally send a copy of backup data to your own data center. So that is through this offsite DR. So if you have, for example, if you're having a head office and a branch office kind of setup, so you can install the BDR software. That's a primary backup server in one location, which takes the primary copy of backup data and store the backup data in the primary location. And yeah, using this offsite DR, you can send the secondary copy to a different location. And we have this Vembu Cloud DR again. So this is the cloud service offered by Vembu. It is a kind of hybrid setup where you have one copy at your data center itself, and then you can send it the second copy to Vembu Cloud through the internet. If something goes wrong, you don't need to worry. So you can just log into Vembu Cloud and you can download the data from anywhere. So that's Vembu Cloud. So this is our first product. So this is the portfolio of product. Okay, so there's a Vembu BDR Suite, and the second is the Vembu Cloud BDR Suite. And this Vembu Cloud BDR Suite is a recent launch from Vembu. So we just introduced some 8 months before. Yeah, and yeah, it is also having a lot of solutions, backup solution. Like we have a cloud, direct cloud backup for files and application. Like if you have workstations, or if you have servers, you don't want in a case where you don't want to have a local copy, or you directly want to send this copy of backup data to the cloud. So for those users, so Vembu Cloud BDR Suite is a right product. There is no any installation, local backup server deployment, or storage setup, anything here. You just have to sign up for the Vembu Cloud account. So we'll provide the client agents for you. You have to download this client and install it on a computer. you can configure the backup directly from the client. The backup data will directly go and get stored in the Vembu cloud. Yeah, here we have multiple product under multiple solution under this. The first one is a Vembu cloud backup for files and application. Yeah, it is a granular file and application backup solution to back up your data directly to cloud. Then we have a cloud backup for AWS. Then we have a backup for Microsoft Office 365, and we also have the backup for Google Workspace. Yeah, the functionalities this offer is similar to that of the BDR Suite. And however, right now we don't support image level backup. So the Cloud BDR Suite, so we are not supporting image level backup, but it's now only. So we are going to bring the image level backup. Like if you have a VMware virtual machines or hyper virtual machines or any physical servers, you can directly back up the data to the cloud. So that is using the Vembu Cloud BDR Suite. So yeah, so these are the two major product line that we offer at Vembu. So with this introduction, now we'll get started with the feature that are coming in the 5.0. Yeah, so we have a tons of features that are coming. So I just picked out the most awaited and important features people are expecting, and I just put in the upcoming slides. Okay. So yeah, this is the first. So these features are most related to the VMware. So this webinar, I'm going to concentrate more on the VMware side. So we are going to see the features that are coming, especially to this VMware part. Okay. Yeah, first one is the instant boot live migration. So Vembu is having an option called instant boot VM. So if you back up a virtual machine, if something goes wrong, so you can instantly boot the backup data. So using this instant boot VM, which is available from our 3.x itself. So yeah, so that feature, we are enhancing that feature now, that instant boot recovery option. For example, you perform an instant boot. If something goes wrong with the source VM, so you perform an instant boot. With this instant boot VM, you can almost instantly recover the backup data to any of the hypervisor. So if you have an Hyper-V or VMware, so if you have any hypervisor, you can instantly boot the backup data onto the hypervisor. So the backup data is directly booted from the backup storage itself. Okay, and once the instant boot is performed, so we will record all the changes that we have made in this instant boot session. So that we call this as a persistent change. Okay, so in this version, so we are bringing in instant boot plus live migration. So yeah, you perform this instant boot, so your backup data is booted on your VMware virtual machine. Okay, but this is a temporary VM, so the backup data is still on the backup storage repository. So with this live migration option, during this instant boot session itself, so you can transfer all the data from the backup storage repository to the hypervisor. It migrate the data. Yeah, you instantly booted the VM. You get access to your virtual machine, you started working on your VM. In the background, the data is being transferred from the backup storage repository to the hypervisor. So this is a new feature that is coming in the version 5.0. And we have this parallel VM processing. Yeah, until 4.0, so we have parallel backup jobs. So if you have multiple backup jobs, these backup jobs can run in parallel. Okay. In addition to this, from this version, so you can also run multiple VMs or disks inside a backup job in parallel. For example, if you're having a backup job, you're having some 10 virtual machines. So previously, only the backup jobs are in parallel. Only one VM inside a backup job will be processed. But now it's different. So you can also select. So we are bringing this option in the user interface itself. In the user interface, you can select how many number of backup jobs you want to run in parallel, and how many VMs or disks inside a backup job that you can run in parallel. So we are giving this setting entirely to the users. So you can customize based on the resource availability and your organization policies. You can set it up on your own. So second, the third one is the drive rotation. Again, this is the one of the most awaited feature. So previously you can just use a fixed drive, so you have to keep the drive attached to the backup server to store the backup data. Now you can do the drive rotation. So you can use multiple hard drives to store the backup data, and eventually you can swap these hard drive on regular basis. So for example, you take a backup, you connect a hard disk today, you take a full backup and incrementals. Next week, you connect another hardware, the second hard disk, and you can take this again a full backup and incremental. The first you take previously you take a backup on the first hard drive, right? So you can just take it to an offset location, or after 2 or 3 weeks, you can swap this hard disk and you can overwrite the data. So that's a drive rotation again. So this is the most awaited features, and that is coming in the version 5.0. Next, we have a backup job template with until version 4.0. So for every backup job, so you have to configure the settings, all the settings you have to configure for each and every backup job, but we are simplifying it now. So you can create multiple templates. So these templates contain all the configuration for a backup job. So for example, if you're adding a new VM, so if you want to configure a backup job for that VM, so you just create a backup job. So we have two options here. Create a backup job fully, so you have to create a backup job on your own, or else if you already have a template, so you can use the template. So just the single click, so the template will be loaded. So all the configuration from the template will be loaded for that particular job. So you just save the job. In just simple 1 or 2 clicks, you can create a backup job simply for the new entities. So this is mostly very much useful for this larger businesses. So they have a lot of VM, they create and destroy a lot of VMs daily. So for them, this is going to be one of the most useful feature. And yeah, we'll go to the next page. Next page, yeah. So this is again, the first page, the first feature is valid liftoff. Yeah, so this is a important feature in this 5.0 for image-based backup. So we are bringing in this feature called valid liftoff. So if there is any interruption or network failure during the backup progress, so the network in the servers, the machine or the network is fixed. During when the next time the backup restarts, we don't send the entire data again. So we'll send it from valid left. For example, you're transferring a data of a virtual machine size of 100 GB. So after the 50 GB, the network gets interrupted or something happened to the backup and the backup job gets interrupted. So after everything is fixed, if you restart the backup, until 4.0, so we'll send the backup data from the beginning. But from 5.0, so we will implementing this valid liftoff feature. For example, after the 50 GB, it will continue from valid left. So that's the valid liftoff feature. Then we are introducing the synthetic full backup. So the synthetic full backup is created in your backup repository by merging the previous full and all the subsequent incrementals after that full. Okay, so this is some organization, they have a policy like they have to create a backup every weekend, or every 3 days they want to create a backup. So if they have a very huge data, for example, if they have some terabytes of data, at the time taking full backup for the terabyte of data is difficult. It will take a lot of time. So if you already have a full backup and you have some subsequent incrementals, yeah, why don't we merge this and create a full backup for you? So that's a synthetic full backup. Then we have a GFS retention. Yeah, in the 4.2 itself, we have a GFS retention, but it's in the very basic. Now we are extended the capabilities of this GFS version. So it will help you to create multiple restore points on weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis. So you can create this GFS by merging the incremental with the previous incrementals, or you can merging with the full backup, like GFS with the incrementals or GFS with the full backup. So this is the GFS retention. And multi-host backup. So multi-host backup is, again, yeah, I say it's one of the coolest feature, and I like this feature a lot, especially personally. Yeah. For example, so if you're having multiple ESXi, not vCenter. So if you have multiple ESXi, so you can just add all your ESXi to this Vembu server, and you can select the VMs from multiple ESXis in a single job, and you can configure the backup for these VMs. So previously, so you can configure backup only for a particular ESXi. So if you want to configure backup from different ESXi or multiple ESXi server, yeah, previously it was only for single ESXi. So you have to select. You can able to select only the back VMs from a single ESXi, but now you can select VMs from multiple ESXi. Yeah, previously until 4.2, until the current version 4.2, you need, if you want to select multiple VMs from a multiple ESXi, yeah, there is going to be a lot of tongue twisters here. Yeah. If you have so you need a vCenter to select VMs from multiple ESXi hosts. Now you don't need to have any vCenter. You just directly add all the ESXis to the backup server. You just pick the VMs from different ESXis in a single job and configure the backup for it. Yeah. So this is multi-host backup. Yeah, so these are some of the other features that is not only for this VMware. So yeah, we are introducing the Hyper-V replication. Yeah, until 4.0, so you get replication only for this VMware VMs. So you can replicate the VM from one ESXi to another ESXi only. For Hyper-V, just only the backup previously. But now, so you can back up the Hyper-V VMs, and you can also replicate the Hyper-V VMs from one Hyper-V host to another Hyper-V host. So next we have this application item level recovery. Previously, you need to use this tool called Vembu User Explorer. So this is a separate tool. So you have to install this tool in your backup server machine or any other machine, and you have to use this tool to perform the granular recovery. Now you don't need the tool anymore from 5.0. In the recovery option itself, so we have integrated all this application item level recovery. So you just select the application you want, and you can perform the granular recovery of this application. Like if you have an Exchange, or if you have a SharePoint, if you have a SQL, or if you have a Active Directory, so you can just select these application and you can restore these application items directly from this backup server user interface itself. No Vembu User Explorer is needed here anymore. Yeah, so we are introducing the SharePoint and Teams backup for the Office 365. So if you have a SharePoint online, if you have a Teams online, so you can back up these data. So yeah, and this is available for both the BDR suite of products and also for the Cloud BDR Suite. So if you want to store the backup data, these backup data online, Microsoft Office 365 data, onto the on-premise server, so you can do it. And also if you want to store this backup data directly to cloud, you can do it. Then we have this backup for workspace. So Google Workspace backup. If you want to backup the workspace items, Google Workspace items like mailbox, contacts, calendars, and the files and folders from Google Drive, yes, you can take a backup and you can store this backup data onto the on-premise server or to this directly to the Vembu cloud. So that's the features. These are the features that are coming. These are major features that are coming in the version 5.0. So I'm also having some of the enhancements that are also coming in this 5.0. Yeah, these are the enhancements. Like first one, you can initiate the restore when the backup is in progress. So previously, you have to wait until the backup completes to restore the data, or else you have to stop this backup process to restore the data if there is an emergency. Now you can restore the backup data when even the backup job is in progress for this particular job. You can initiate the restore when the backup job is in progress. So yeah, that's the first one. And we have the backup job and offset jobs can run in parallel. So previously, again, so when the backup job is in process, at the time the offset copy will not run. So now you can run both the backup and offset copies in parallel. Okay, now we have we greatly improved the user experience of the entire backup software usage. And you can witness these changes in some more time. So I'm going to share. I have a demo setup with me. I'm going to share this screen, and I'm just going to explain how the feature works, how the 5.0 looks like. Then yeah. So previously, so you have to do this manual configuration of restoring the Hyper-V VMs. Now you can restore the original configuration. So with just a simple clicks, so you can just restore the original configuration of the Hyper-V VMs back to the host. Then we have this backup window settings at job level. So previously you have a window setting. For example, if you don't want to run any backups, so this window setting is configured at the entire backup server level. Now you have this window setting for at backup job level. For example, if you don't want a backup job to be run from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. So you can now configure that in the backup job itself. So this is in the backup job level settings, you can configure the backup window for your backup jobs. Yeah, so some backups you can allow them to run on this window time. Yeah, you can change the settings. And yeah, throttling support for the backups. So individual backups, so you can apply the throttling. For example, if you want to limit the network bandwidth usage of this backup server, yes, yeah, we are bringing in the backup throttling settings in the backup server itself. So previously, only from the if you're using Vembu clients, so only the backup from the Vembu clients have this throttling setup. Yeah, now you can apply the setting to the entire backup server. So next, yeah, we have now supporting the file level recovery for the dynamic disk. Previously, only the basic disk supports the file level recovery, and now we support the dynamic disk also. And yeah, so we are now giving an option in the user interface to disable the compression encryption. For example, if you're having a deduplication appliances, yeah, if you want to leverage the encryption and the deduplication of that appliance, storage appliance at the time, so you can disable the Vembu software level compression encryption, and you can totally leverage on the hardware level deduplication. So yeah, obviously hardware level hardwares will give you the more efficient way of the compression. You can leverage if you have any hardware appliance. Okay, so these are the new features and enhancement that are coming in 5.0. So that's the end of this presentation. Now we can directly go and see how the Vembu 5.0 looks like. So yeah, so you have just saw the features. If you want to test this Vembu 5.0 in your environment, so you can just go to the vembu.com, just click on this download. So you can directly download the beta. So it is beta, it is not intended for the production use. So you can just download the beta and you can test it in your environment. Okay, yeah, so we are also welcoming the feedbacks. So if you have any feedbacks, or if you feel this can be improved, or any improvement suggestions, so you just please feel free to contact us. So you can contact us or send your feedbacks to vembu@vembu.com. So yeah, we are happy, and we accept all the feedbacks and feature requests from the users. Yeah, this you can see if we take the 5.0 development. So we just started by gathering the feature requests from our customers, and yeah, so we just understand the market and how this backup market is evolving. So we just curated all the features. We created the roadmap, and we started working on this 5.0 feature. Yeah, so at the beginning, the feature requests from our customers is very important. So yeah, the 5.0, the features that you are seeing in the 5.0, right, that you have saw, it's mostly from our users, mostly from the existing users, and their feedbacks help us to come to this way. Okay, so this is the 5.0 beta download link. So you can just go to the download page itself. So you have to have this beta. So when you click on this beta, so you can directly be taken to the page where you can just click on this download button to download the beta, and you can test it in your environment. Okay, yeah, so you have this. You'll also have the list of features that are coming. This is for your reference if you want to know more about this, so you can just read it. And we also have a release note here. Just go through the release notes, and we have a user guide for this beta itself. So if you need any assistance, or if you need any guidance during the backup configuration or restore, you can refer to this. Or else if you're stuck anywhere, you just please feel free to contact us. So we're happy to help you. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. So this tab is the Vembu 5.0 tab. So this is how the console will looks like. Again, this is the web-based console. We are just rating the web-based console. So yeah, you just install the Vembu application in one of your computers. So we support both Windows and Linux installation. You just install it in any one of your computers. So yeah, right now the beta is available only for the Windows build. So I have already installed this on one of my computer. So you can access this console from any machine just by entering the IP address of the machine followed by the port number. Just enter it and log in. So the admin and admin are the default username and password. Just log in. So yeah, this is how the initial login screen of after login. This is how the application looks like. So you can see there is a lot of change in the menu itself. So yeah, here you can see, right, from here itself you can configure the backup for VMware, Hyper-V, and Windows servers. You can configure the backup for AWS, Microsoft Office 365. You can configure the backup for file servers, endpoints, and applications. Everything you can configure from this console itself. Yeah, however, for file server backup, you need to install the client agent, and you have to configure the backup from the client. Yeah, that you can download the client from here. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll start with how to add. Yeah, I'll just give a demonstration of VMware backup, and in there I will explain how the new features is working in this 5.0. Yeah, so after installing this application, so you need to configure a storage repository to store the backup data. To configure the repository, yeah, just click on the BDR infrastructure, click on backup repository, click on block storage. Yeah, so object storage is coming in the upcoming next immediate release of Vembu. So we are going to release a patch after this 5.0 in 2 or 3 months of timeline. So we will get the object storage. So if you have an S3 or S3 compatible storage, if you want to use that to store the backup data, yes, you can use once this object storage feature is released. So yeah, until then, so you have to use a block storage. So just click on backup repository, click on block storage. So yeah, so you can use your storage devices, like if you have a local hard drive or if you have a NAS or SAN, you can use that to store the backup data here. So for this, just click on create new backup storage repository. So you have to just give a name for the repository. Yeah, we have 2-3 repository type. So one, it can be simple, so you cannot expand it. So only one volume you can select, and you can use that volume to store the backup data. So if you want to scale out, if you periodically add different drives as per the backup scales, yeah, you can go for the scale out thing. You can select multiple repositories here, multiple storage devices. And yeah, it supports storage pooling also. For example, if you have one local drive and if you have one NAS drive, so you can club these 2 storages and you can use that as a repository. Then we have a disk rotation. Yeah, if you want to swap this drive, so you have to just select one drive and yeah, just take a backup, then connect another drive, take a backup, and you can swap them periodically. Yeah, so this is one of the features that I want to explain. So this is this disable option. For example, if you don't want to compress or encrypt the backup data, a software level compression and encryption, at the time you can just disable this and click on create the repository. So we will send the raw data to the backup storage medium. Okay, so this is how you can create a repository to store the backup data. I already created a repository here. Now I'm going to use that to create a backup. Okay, so now next, so you have to add the data source. Just click on data source, just click on add VMware vSphere, just click on ESXi vCenter. So this proxy is an optional. For example, if you have a larger environment, if you have hundreds and thousands of VM, so if you want to distribute the load of the backup server, at that time you can make use of the backup proxy. So you just click on backup proxy. You need to install a proxy server. During the backup configuration, you can use that proxy to process this particular backup job. Yeah, so before that we have to add the ESXi. Just click on ESXi vCenter server. So here you can see, right, you have an option to add an ESXi vCenter. Just click on that. So you have to specify what type of server it is. It's a vCenter server or ESXi, and you have to provide the IP address, credential, and if there's a default port number 443, just click on save. So it will add your ESXi vCenter here. Here itself you can see the details here. How many VMs are there inside this ESXi, and how many VMs you already configured the backup, which backup VM, and how many of the VMs are replicated. So you can see everything in detail here. Okay, so this is how you can add your server to this Vembu application. So likewise, if you want to configure backup for Hyper-V, you can just click on this Microsoft Hyper-V. So you have multiple options here. If you want to add your physical Windows server backup, just click on add Microsoft Windows, and you have to specify the credential, the IP address and credential of the physical machine, and you can add it to the data source. So once you have added the data source, you are good to go with configuring the backup. Yeah, just click on backup, click on configure backup, click on VMware vSphere. Yeah, first here you can see this option, right? This is the backup job template. So just you can create a backup job without using a template, or else you can create a backup job using a template. So just click on template and you have to select the existing template from here. Okay, this template is now loaded. You just give this name. I'm just selecting backup _01 and just giving test backup as a description. Okay, I'm just click on next. So I just need to select the entities that I want to backup. So here you can see, right, previously it will list out only one ESXi. Now you can see multiple ESXi are listed. You can select the VMs from multiple ESXis now. So just select the VMs you want to backup. So I'm just selecting 2 VMs from this ESXi, and you can also select a 2 VM from a different ESXi. Yeah. No, this is the replication. I'm just selecting 2 VMs. That's all. I selected 4 VMs, and these are from different ESXis now. Then click on next. If you click on next, it will directly take you to the review page. It loads all the configuration from the template. However, if you want to edit this configuration, here we have an option. Just click on this checkbox. It will you can edit this configuration. It's like a normal backup configuration without using a template, but it loads all the data from the templates. It will preload it. Yeah, you can choose the VM exclusion, disk exclusion, and you have to specify the guest processing. Okay, if you want to specify the guest processing, so you can just click on edit guest processing. You can specify it here, how for Windows application, Oracle, and file exclusion. So you can do the guest processing settings here. And yeah, we always recommend, if you have a application inside your VM, so we always recommend you to set up the guest processing for the VMs. Yeah, so this will take a consistent snapshot and process the backup. So yeah, just to make sure all your application items are consistent inside the VM, and it's good for when you restore. It don't surprise you during the restore. Yeah, the VM quizzing option, if you want to enable or disable the quizzing for the particular VMs, so you can do that setting here. Then the scheduling. So the template has a default scheduling as 6 hours. So if you now we have enhanced the backup scheduling itself. So you have multiple options now. So you can run the backup manually. So if you go for the manual option, every time you have to come to this console and you have to trigger the backup job. So only on demand the backups will run. So you have one-time backup. So you can specify the time when you want to run the backup. So you have this every few hours. You can specify the timing. It starts from every 15 minutes. Okay, and we have the run daily backup. So you can run the backup multiple number of times. You can run up to 5 times. So you have to specify all the time here. Or you can run the backup weekly, monthly, or you can change the backup. For example, if you want this backup job to run after the particular backup, so yeah, so once this backup job whenever BK run, this particular job will run after that. So we have multiple options here. So I'm just going to the default one, the 6 hours, and you have a synthetic backup here. So if you want to synthetically create a full backup, so you have an option, and you have to first specify the schedule for it. So and yeah, we also have additional full backup. So this will take the backup of the VMs again fully. It will fully read the data and store it on the repository. Instead of merging the older full backup and the incrementals, it will create a full backup fully. And we have this advanced settings. So here we have this backup window. So I just explained about the backup window, right? So you have a global window. So this backup server have a global setting. So you can use the global setting, or you can use a custom setting. For example, for this job, if you want to change the backup window, so you can use, or else whatever the case, even if you have a global setting, if you don't want to take the global setting, if you want to run the backup as per the schedule, just click on no preference. And we have this validity option. So if you want to start the backup after some point in time, for example, if you want to start the backup 5 or 6 days after now, you can select the start time, and you can also set the expiry date for the backup. So after this expiry date, the backup won't run. So we have some additional settings here. I'm just using the global setting and click on next. Choose expiry date. So it's going to be more interactive now. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just disable this additional full backup now. Click on go to next. So here it is the retention for the backup. Yeah, like previously we have this basic retention and GFS retention. Yeah, we now improved it. This called enable retention. So you have a version based retention. So if you want, you can specify the number of versions you want to retain. You can also specify the number of days. For example, if you want to retain the backup for a particular number of days, you can just select here. Along with this, so you can also do the GFS full backup or GFS with the incremental. So you can specify, for example, if you want to retain 3 yearly copies, okay, and you can take first Sunday of the Jan, it will create a GFS and it will retain the 3 yearly copies of backup data. So likewise, you have multiple GFS settings here. So this GFS created with the full backup or GFS can be created with the incremental backup. So you have this multiple settings here. You can use that for retention. Again, this is the enhanced version of the retention compared to the previous version of Vembu. Yeah. Then you have this encryption option. So you can encrypt all your backup data. If you want to encrypt your backup data, so you can just leave it to system generated. Vembu will generate a key and the backup job is encrypted using that key, or else you can use a custom encryption. So you can specify your own password to encrypt the backup data. So all the backup data is encrypted using AES 256-bit encryption algorithm. Okay, and you can provide the key for that. So that's this encryption. Then yeah, so if you have if you want to distribute the load of this backup job using a proxy, so you can use the proxy. But to use the proxy, you need to have a proxy already installed in a different computer. So if you have a proxy, you can just specify the proxy and you can use that to store the backup data or to configure the backup. Yeah. Then click on next. So there's a review page. So just review all the configuration. And if you want to run this backup job, immediately click on this checkbox and save the backup. So this is how you create a backup job without a template. If you use a template, it's going to be simpler than ever. So you don't need all the settings. So you already configured all the settings here. Just uncheck this, click on next. It will actually take you to the last page. It will load all the configuration from the template. So this is the backup job template. So just create a backup job. So you already have a backup job created. So you can see all the backup jobs that are configured from this backup server in this list job page. Yeah, here is the option to create templates. So just click on backup, click on manage backup job template. So you can see all the templates that are created. So you can edit the template, or else if you want to create a new template, just click on create a new backup job template. So it is simply like creating a backup job, but you're not adding any entities here. Just create a template, leave it. You can use this template when creating a backup job. Yeah, so and we have this some other settings. Here is a concurrent backup job setting. So I said, right, you can now run the backup jobs in parallel. So this is that setting. This is a particular setting. So you can specify the number of concurrent backup tasks in a backup server and number of concurrent tasks per backup job. So you can just edit it and you can change it. Like how 10 backup jobs can run in parallel, and each backup job can process 4 VMs at a time. So that's a setting. So this is a setting, and we have compression level. So we have now you can specify the compression level, how much of compression you want to use. You can specify the compression level, and this is the backup bandwidth throttling. So bandwidth throttling for the backup server. So you can specify the time period, and you can also specify the network speed for this bandwidth throttling. Okay, so this is the bandwidth throttling settings. And yeah, so this is the normal replication. So previously we have replication only for the VMware virtual machines. Now you can also replicate the virtual machines from one Hyper-V host to another Hyper-V. So we have failure fallback. If something goes wrong, you can just fail over the VM. And yeah, if the source VM is not fixed, you can fail back the replicate VMs to a same ESXi or different ESXi. Yeah, same source or different source, different server. Then we have this tape archive. So if you want to archive a copy of backup data to one tape medias, we have this. So we support the autoloaders from LTO3 and above. So coming to recovery. So yeah, so there are a lot of options to show you here. This is recovery. I'm just trying to restore this VM. Just click on the restore. So it will load and it will show the VM. Just select the VMs. So once the VM is selected, it will highlight all the recovery options. So everything, all the recovery option will be available in this screen itself. Okay, yeah. So you can have to choose the restore type, like how you want to restore this backup data. So like first is the instant boot VM. If something goes wrong, choosing on this instant boot VM will instantly boot the backup data, but the backup data is from the backup storage repository. Okay, the next one is a full VM recovery. So if you want to permanently restore the backup data, just click on this full VM recovery. So you have to specify the target data, target ESXi or target vCenter, target data store, and you have to give a name and have to create, initiate the restore. So this will create a new VM on the target ESXi server. Then we have a disk mount. So if you just want to mount the disk, so you can just mount the disk to a local backup server, and you can take the files and folders from the mounted disk. We have a disk level recovery. So if you want to attach the backup VMDK to another VM, okay, VMware VM, so you can use this disk level recovery. So then the download VM. So this option allow you to download the backup data into multiple file formats. So this feature will be especially useful when you are planning to migrate the VMs from one platform to another. So now you're running all the VMs on VMware. If you want to migrate this VMware VMs to Hyper-V, you can use this download VMs option. Then we have this Exchange server recovery. Yeah, previously, so if you want to perform the granular recovery, so you need to install, we'll prompt you to install or open the Vembu Universal Explorer, and you have to perform that restore from a different user interface. So that's a different application. Now that's not needed. So you can just select this application, and you can, okay, yeah, this data is mounted, so you have to just unmount it. Okay, now you can initiate the restore directly from here itself, from this console itself. You can just select and you can initiate the restore. So I'll just try to perform this for a different VM. So it's a different backup job. So this is a restore. Yeah, until 4.2, when you click on this application item recovery, it will prompt you to open a different server. But now you can just select and initiate the restore from here itself. Yeah, unfortunately, both the backups are mounted, so you have to unmount it before performing this granular recovery. And yeah, again, we have the file level recovery. So if you want to granularly restore a particular files and folders from the backup data, so you can use this file level recovery. Yeah. So yeah, now you perform the instant boot. So you already performed the instant boot. So yeah, you can see this is my ESXi. I performed instant boot for one of the backup job. I already performed performed the instant boot for two of the VMs in different ESXi. So this is one from the this particular server. Yeah, the server. So I have already performed the instant boot. So and the machine is instantly booted and it's up and running. You can just see it's running now. But this instant boot, the data is from the backup storage repository. You can continuously use, but yeah, so you cannot run this VM all the time from the backup storage repository, right? So now now it's the time to move this VM data to the ESXi data store itself. Okay, for this, just click on Vembu to go to the backup server. So you already performed this instant boot VM, so I will show that report to you. In data recovery, I performed this. Yeah, so this already booted. So when you click on recovery, so here you can see this option called manage instantly booted VMs. So just click on yes and proceed. So here you can see that. So this machine is now booted and it's up and running. So if you want to permanently migrate this instant booted VM with all the changes that you have made on this instant boot VM session, it's pretty simple now. So just click on action, it's migrate. Just select the target server, so you can perform this migration directly to the same server, or if you want to migrate this VM to a different server, you can do it. So you can just select the same or different server. You have to select the target data store. So you have to just give a name for the target VM and just click on. You have to first do the compatibility check. Once the target ESXi is compatible, so it will start to migrate the VMs to the target ESXi. And once it is migrated, yeah, so you have all the changes migrated to the new target ESXi. You can just log in the ESXi and you can continue work from there. So that's this. So that's the instant boot live migration option. Yeah, so you have multiple options here, like there. So you can see all the mounted disks here. So I'm just selecting unmount here. Just confirm. So when you unmount, you can go and perform the granular recovery of this files and fold the application VMs. I think I have one more to this VM. Yeah, just select it. Just click on next. Yeah, it's from here itself. You can just select the recovery point, and when you click on next, so it will show the Active Directory objects. You can just select this object and you can restore. Yeah. And yeah, so in this from 5.0, so the reports. Yeah, we have improved the report. So you have this dashboard. So here you can see, so if the recent backup job is completed in the calendar base, so you can just review it from here. So we have a very detailed reporting for everything. So if we just go to recent backup job schedule, so you can see everything in detail, like what's the original size, what is the compressed size, how much of compression, everything you can see it from this user interface itself. So that's how we improve the report. Yeah, so again, these are some normal reporting option, but yeah, you can witness the improvement and the enhancements in the user interface of the entire backup server. Okay, so yeah, again, so you can configure the backup from the AWS from here itself, for Office 365 or files and folders. So everything you can do it from here itself. So if you want to configure the backup for your file server, just click on data source. You have to first download the client. You have to install a client on the machine, and you can configure the backup directly from the backup from the client itself. So once the backup is configured, the data will come and get stored in this server. So yeah, so this is the main feature and how this 5.0 will looks. Okay, yeah, if you want to test the features and the new features and functionality that are coming in the 5.0, so I recommend you to download the beta and test it in your environment. Yeah, so you don't have any feature restrictions in this beta. Just download and test it. Yeah, so yeah, now it's a time to get started with the testing this. Yeah, you can just go to Vembu website. As I said earlier, you can just go to the Vembu website, click on this download. It will take you to the beta page where you can download the beta directly from a website for this testing. And yeah, keep note, so this is only for the testing purpose. So the GA release of Vembu 5.0 is coming in the next few weeks. Okay, so yeah, so that's all from my side for this webinar. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of questions are coming, and Pranav and my team members are answering the questions. So yeah, so the webinar it's quite a long now. It has taken 50 plus minutes, crossing 50 plus minutes. Yeah, so yeah, so that's all from my side. I think Pranav was busy answering the questions received from the people from this webinar. Yeah, guys, so that's all from my side. So thank you so much for joining this webinar, and yeah, so thanks for your interest in this webinar, and thank you so much for your time. So if you have any questions, so you please feel free to contact us. So here you can see the numbers in the screen, or you can just drop a simple mail to Vembu-support or Vembu-send@vembu.com. So we are happy to connect you, and we'll explain all the queries. Even if you want an interactive one-on-one demo session and for your environment, so yeah, we can have a call and we can discuss this and everything in detail. Yeah, guys, if you have any question, you can just type in the questions in your question and answer box. So have a nice day. Bye-bye.